Well, Disney, they're out with the revived, you could say, born again series of Daredevil. Like I said, I have not seen it. Mm-hmm. You saw the first 2 episodes.
Yes.
I know the internet is all abuzz, as it always is, always humming, always buzzing, never stopping. Some people are going crazy over this.
Oh my gosh. Yes.
In good and bad ways.
In good and bad ways. So it is really hard to do a non-spoiler review. It's really hard to do any review of this without giving away huge spoilers.
Would you say people should go in blind?
Oh my gosh, we got to kick James out today. But yes, okay. you should. You should go in blind. You really shouldn't know anything about this. But even in that spirit, okay, if you don't want to know, like, not even a single freaking thing, skip ahead a little bit. We have more local news, more local movie news in just, like 2 minutes. But if you'd like to hear about Daredevil, listen. I watched this with my sister-in-law. All I can say is that while we were watching this, the two of us were screaming, hitting the couches, jumping, pulling our hair. Like, what the hell did I just watch? And this can't be happening. And holy crap. Like, the whole time, both episodes was us just our jaws on the floor and just yelling and shouting and just really, really, really enjoying it. They took some huge risks. We have Charlie Cox back, obviously, as titular Daredevil. Mm-hmm. We've got Vincent D'Onofrio back as Kingpin. We've got Bullseye. We've got the Punisher.
Isn't it like White Tiger or somebody?
White Tiger, right. So we've got some new villains. We've got some old villains. We've got returning characters. We've got new characters. But they have taken a huge risk in this season, shaking things up, shaking the fandom to its core in a way that some people are saying could have a big negative impact on the MCU, could have a big negative impact on Daredevil itself if the rest of it doesn't deliver, if this character doesn't recover, but you know what? I think the risks are paying off. I think the risks are paying off in this. Everything about it was compelling, definitely in the original spirit of Daredevil. I love seeing Charlie Cox so much. He's come back.
We saw him in person. He was down in Boston with Vincent D'Onofrio for a Fan Expo event.
That's right, where we were with
Check
the Hub
out that
on
episode
Hollywood.
of the Hub on Hollywood.
Woo, 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 woo. It's just like that. Exactly. There we go.
So let me ask you this before we continue. So I know that Daredevil, Charlie Cox?
Yes.
He came back for a couple episodes in She-Hulk.
Yes.
I don't know if this is a spoiler, but is that the same universe, Charlie Cox? Because in that one, he was much more laid back, a little sillier.
Yes.
I would assume in the Born Again series, he's serious, or is he?
Oh, it's serious.
Yeah. So is that definitely like fun
different
part,
tone,
personality gone? Washed
it is
away?
A tremendous tone shift.
Okay.
So you're not getting the Charlie Cox from She-Hulk.
Okay.
But it is in the same universe. It's in the same timeline. That's before the events of what happens here. So Carefree Daredevil is in for a rough ride.
Okay, so this is before She-Hulk.
No, after She-Hulk.
Okay, so Daredevil's having a great time. It's like, man, this is great. I had,
at least I
had sex with a giant She-Hulk, and now he's back to Hell's Kitchen. He's like, dang it, I should have stayed with her. This sucks.
You should have.
That being said, Vincent D'Onofrio, his version of Kingpin, appeared in Hawkeye. Mm-hmm. with little girl Hawkeye. I'm forgetting her name. But in that one, he's a little more, again, maybe a little more lighthearted, not goofy per se, but definitely less menacing or mean, I would say, than the original Daredevil series. Yeah. Is that lighthearted kind of silliness waved away also in this version?
Yes.
But it is in
the right timeline.
So it's right timeline.
They do mention it. Yeah.
But does that? I'm not sure if you saw Hawkeye.
Mm-hmm, I did. Yeah.
Does that bother you? Do you just not care? Do you not think about that little tonal shift?
No, it doesn't bother me too much. It might bother other people. But I think that those shows needed to be what they were. They needed to be in their universe, their tone, their,
It's the same universe.
I know it is, but, and I loved seeing these characters in a different context, in a different show where you get to see a little bit of a different side of them for once. And that I like. I enjoy that because once they get back in their own show and you're following their main story, it's much more intense and all of that. So I want to see Daredevil happy.
Yeah.
Okay? I'd like to see him have that little romp with She-Hulk and whatnot. Like that was just so enjoyable. So, because the hurt is coming.
Ooh.
The hurt is coming for him. And no, it doesn't bother me. However, there are some fans, James, who I think they just have unrealistic expectations for what this show needs to be for the MCU. I think that some people's I've just seen so many people go on rants online. Like their visions for what it needs to be for the greater MCU is so specific and the bar is just way too high. I have minor nitpicks about what's happening in the new Daredevil. But you've got to give it some leeway. You got to give it some breathing room.
It's only the first episodes.
Yeah, it's only the first.
Yeah.
Right, exactly. So, and this is another one that it's going to be coming out every week. Disney Plus. You got to make sure that you've got the right kind of Disney. Like you've got to put in your age to get the R restricted
so you can
stuff.
get Daredevil and Wolverine, like those types of movies, the R-rated ones.
And then don't mix up the kid in this one, profiles or whatever, because it gets dark.
Interesting.
But I think that people should go see it. I had a great just experience watching it. Again,
it sounded like you were in a physical fight with your cousin or
my sister-in-law.
Your sister-in-law. It sounded like you were in a physical fight.
Couch,
You're like, we started punching the couch, pulling out hair, and then we turned on the show. What are you doing?
We're like, we gotta calm down. Let's watch this.
That's funny. We're in the mood now. We get very well. We want to beat people up. All right. Well, but so it sounds like you recommend.
I 100% recommend it. Go in with an open mind.
Heart.
An open heart, right? The last Daredevil came out in 2018.
Crazy.
It's been a while.
Yeah.
Just go in with an open mind. I think that you'll really enjoy it.
Okay.